onto the LFL. How does one even I just imagine does one wake up one day and you're like, yeah, I want to play women's football, and how do you even go about doing that, I guess?
Yeah, so I played rugby in high school, and a lot of girls in Australia do, especially if you're sporty. So when I heard about gridiron, I was like, oh, this is really fun, and I never thought women would ever play it until my best friend back home in Australia, she her auntie started a league for women, but it was 11 on 11, the full field.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't the LFL, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just give it a try. So I went and tried out, and I really liked it. It was really exhilarating, and it was different. And it was a change, so I thought I would do that, and then the LFL came to Australia, and then that's just how that all started.
How old were you then when you played in that league?
18 turning 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
So still, because you just think most people start playing football, especially professionals, really early on, so but I guess it was a little bit later in your career, so do you think that made a bit of a difference for you starting it later on? Was it a good thing, a bad thing, or what did you think?
I feel like initially getting into it, I wasn't that natural at it just because I didn't grow up with it. I watched the games that my dad would watch, but I never really understood the game until I started playing. It just didn't make sense to me that they would stop every, at the end of every play, because in rugby, everything's continuous. So I was always so used to that, and it didn't make sense to me at first, and then when you start playing, you're like, oh wow, okay, this is starting to make sense. So I think starting later on was a little bit harder to get into initially, and especially because we didn't grow up with this sport in Australia.
Right.
Girls in America, they see it all the time because it's a big thing here. It's culture. So because it's not culture in Australia, I think it just took a little bit of time to get used to. But yeah, in the end, it just clicked. The penny just drops, and you're just like, oh wow, okay, I get it.